Wherever you are, I'll always bless you up, always. So success is not a one-time achievement. It's a habit cultivated by repeated, focused action on the one thing, right? Repeated, focused action. We spoke about that. Okay? Right. So Keller stresses the importance of daily routines, right? And consistency over sporadic bursts or effort. Okay? Momentum, you're going to get the momentum when your small successes compound. That's how you get momentum. It is. That's how momentum is made, right? You have to continue with the small habits, right? And you continue. So real life example, Warren Buffett, even though he's not my favorite person, it doesn't matter. Warren Buffett, he attributes his success to disciplined, consistent investing. And that is true, right? Rather than the market timing. That is true. Okay. Now, again, of course, I have action steps. I told you guys I'm going to have action steps, right? So you commit to completing your one thing every day for 30 minutes. Okay. And you track your progress to reinforce the habit. Track your progress, guys. Some weeks you might fall off. That's okay. Right. But if you don't, if you don't track, if you don't measure, you won't know. You will just be guesstimating your results and your progress. Yeah, your progress. If you don't measure, you'll just be guessing your progress. And progress is not something that you should be guessing. All right. So, and also review and adjust to remove friction points that disrupt consistency. Now, Misty, maybe you don't want to answer in public, but I wanted to ask you, how did you do with the 90 minutes last week? That you said that you're going to give yourself not the 90 minutes, the 60 minutes. You said you were going to give yourself 60 minutes of undisturbed work. What challenges came up for you during that? Or what did you find happened, for you? Or were you able to do it, etc.? If you don't feel comfortable answering, I understand. Don't worry about it. But I was curious because I was thinking about you during the week, actually. I was saying to myself, I wonder if Miss T got to do exactly what she does. 60%, hey, 60% successful, that's still good. That's still a success. Because at least you started it. You started it, so that's good. You're better off than you're farther along than everybody. Yeah, because I was thinking about you this week, actually. I was saying to myself, I wonder if Miss T was able to start her thing. So 60% for first time, that's a good batting average, actually, right? Good. So the key points and meanings from this chapter is consistency creates momentum. These are facts, and it's true. Okay. Doing the right thing daily, it builds unstoppable rhythm. Number 2, habits sustains your results. Remember, we're always teaching about sustainability. So your habits, that is what will sustain your results. Okay. So your regular routines, that's what makes your success effortless. Right. Now, repetition also leads to mastery. Yes, repetition leads to mastery, right? Meaning, it's clear. It's very clear, right? Excellence comes from persistent practice, right? Focus, repeated action builds results. Okay? And habits, they're the backbone of your success. Your habits, as I said to you before, people don't choose their destiny per se. They choose their habits, and the habits determine your destiny. Okay? These are facts. Right. So, again, your momentum compounds small wins into big outcomes. Right? It's compound interest, right? Daily discipline is more effective than occasional brilliance. These are facts. Okay? Right. Consistency creates momentum. So guess what, guys? Your small wins, they add up. And not only that, I want you to always remember this too. That's how the small wins, and that's why, let me slow down. That's why milestones are so important, because the small wins, it gives you fuel to continue, right? So even say like Miss T now said that she's 60%, 60% done. That's a point for her to celebrate, because she wasn't aiming for, so she wasn't aiming for perfection. She was aiming to start and do as best as she can. And guess what? She's more than halfway. She's more than halfway there. So the next time she does it, she'll say, yeah, I did it for 60%. 40% is not going to be that hard, right? And she'll just continue. Maybe next time it's 65%. Maybe it's 80%. Who knows? Maybe she go to full 100. Okay? But the point is, people, we should take Miss T as an example, because she started, right? And now she has that inside of her to know that I started and I did it more than 50%. Okay, so we have to take a page out of Miss T's book when it come on to actually starting. Okay, good, right? So that's why, people, the momentum, the small wins are so important. Milestones are so important, where you can stop and look back and say, I'm not where I am right now, but I'm further away than where I was before. And that's why I always say to you, you are only competing with yourself if you're smart. And if you're truly on your fully consumed with your journey to doing better, you're not looking at other people. You're not looking at what they're doing. You're looking at yourself from yesterday and seeing where I am today. Okay? That's where your energy should be, right? That's where your energy should be. So the small wins, they do add up. Small wins always add up, because it builds momentum, because you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm 50% of the way. Oh gosh, yeah, I can do this, right? Good, right? So your daily focus, it beats random effort. Of course it does. Of course it does. Habits, remember I told you last week, habits are greater than inspiration, or not inspiration, than your feelings, than you feeling motivated. Okay? Yeah. Habits outperform motivation. I wrote it right there. Habits outperform motivation, right? So stay the course. Stay the course. Okay? Yes, you take a break when you're tired. Yes, you look back and you look at your milestones, but stay the course. That's the only way you're going to finish. Okay? And even if you fall off the course, no problem. You fall off the course, you get back up and you start again. Okay? And don't look at it as starting over. Look at it as continuing better, or continuing with more information. Okay? Good. Next. As you know me, I'm a quote girl. I love quotes, right? So here are some quotes and some meaning. Here's his quote. The key to extraordinary results is creating a habit of focusing on the one thing. That's in chapter 10. What is that relevant? Why is that relevant, Miss Julia? Why is that relevant? Well, the relevancy is consistency. Again, listen to me. Consistency beats intensity, right? Good. And again, remember we said success is built sequentially. That means one after the other. Failure is also built sequentially too, right? That's why I always say the way you start your day is very, very important. Super important. Okay? Because it builds on each other, right? Right. Greatness happens one step at a time, right? So you prioritize a task that, you remember I was telling you, which domino? Every task cannot be prioritized. I swear, I will talk to start every week. Every week I'm just spending out that word. Listen. Prioritize. Prioritize, right? Which domino you're gonna focus on. Remember, we were talking about it last week. Guys, if you don't remember last week, go back and listen to that. Listen to the first 9 chapters of the book. All right. Prioritize the task that creates the compounding results. right? Not all tasks are created equal. So you have to look at your task and see which one of these is the one that will be the most impactful domino for me to kick over, right? You have to make it fun, people, right? Success can be fun. It's all a game with yourself. You have to look at it that's how I look at it. You have to look at it like that. But in order to do that and make it fun, you have to first have the discipline to be honest. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself. That's the only way. Okay, good. Chapter 11, the path to great